No, I think your connection was just making it so you
Yeah,
didn't hear Gina
it was.
correctly.
It's always been
Oh,
Gina,
really?
bro. Yeah,
Oh, okay. All right. My bad. My
Gina's
bad.
never. Gina hasn't gone anywhere, bro.
Gina's straight holding it down as
You
always.
better apologize. She's looking pretty pissed over there. He had to mute because he had to give a real sincere apology.
No, I had to touch my mom.
No, I was just playing it up, dude.
My mom was like looking ready to go somewhere, and I was like, "We're not going anywhere." So.
What are we doing?
Yeah, it's like I want to know what we're doing. We going out for dinner?
Oh, dude, you want to know what happened to me yesterday, Sean?
Oh, dude, I can't wait to see Sean's reaction.
Dude, we should start the podcast.
Should we save this? All right, so let's get into it in 3, 2, 1. Shed time.
Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Shed Time. What is Shed Time, you ask? Well, it's code for the consumption of cannabis, but it's much more than that. Shed Time's a state of mind. It's art, it's music, it's cryptocurrency, technology, it's food, it's vaping. It can be whatever you want it to be, as long as you're not letting the bastards get you down, not being a dick, and making it fun. When you're in the shed, it's whatever your mind allows you to create. So now let's get to the Shed Time podcast.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Shedtime podcast. And all right, now that we've baited all of y'all's curiosity and mine, I gotta know what happened. Tell me the story.
All right,
I almost feel like I should preface this with something, but I don't want to take anything away from James. I want to let him just.
All I want to say is like I'm just curious on how many other people this might have happened to, and if they had the kind of same reaction that I did when I kind of realized but didn't realize what happened. So of course, fucking Friday night, I stayed up fucking late as shit, dude. Probably till like 1, almost 2 o'clock, just grinding it out on some Call of Duty. You know what I mean? Just being, a degenerate gamer. You know what I'm saying? And then so I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna lay down and go to sleep. So I go to sleep, right? And then I wake up like once or twice and I look at my phone. The first time I look at it, it's like 4. So I'm like, oh, dude, like it's 4 a.m. What the fuck, dude? Like I just need to go back to bed. And I go back to sleep. And then I like look at my phone later and it's like, I don't know. I don't remember what time it was, but eventually I just fucking just roll back over and just knock the fuck out. And then all of a sudden my sister comes in and opens the door and she's like, hey, did you feed the dogs? I'm like, wait, what time is it? And she's like, 8. I was like, in the morning? She's like, no, at night. I'm like, wait, what day is it? She's like, it's Saturday. I'm like, no, you're kidding, right? You're like, it's not. So I completely lost an entire day yesterday and slept my entire fucking Saturday, bro. From 1 o'clock in the morning, Saturday morning, pretty much, I guess, technically, Friday night, Saturday morning, till 8 p.m.
And let's just say James was not happy with himself.
No.
He was not happy with the situation. He was not happy with himself. He was not happy about anything.
No, because like I had things that I wanted to get done. You know what I mean?
What time did you end up going to bed last night then?
I went to bed at like 2.
Okay. All right.
And then woke up today.
So you're still
like,
able to sleep.
Yeah. And then I woke up I kind of just got super high and then, cush napped myself to sleep.
Yeah.
You know
I mean? Whatever works, man. That's literally how I get to sleep some nights.
And then I woke up today at like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? And I made sure I got up.
Which would have been like a completely, acceptable time.
Yeah, for yesterday. Exactly. That's what I thought the time was when I originally, like when she first walked in, I looked at my clock. I'm like, oh, okay, it's 8. I should probably get up. But then I thought about it. I'm like, wait, why is she asking me if I fed the dogs? Because she usually feeds them in the morning, like first thing, you know what I mean? I'm like, wait, what the fuck? And then that also made me realize that the dogs hadn't been let out the entire time because I had just been sleeping. So it was just all bad, dude. I was just real upset with myself because like I had a couple things I wanted to get done, as well as I wanted to, also grind out some more on some Call of Duty. You know what I mean? Which I ultimately still did, but like, dude.
Not as hard as you anticipated.
No, dude. I slept for how many hours is that, bro?
I mean,
From like
14, 15,
It's like
what?
17.
Yeah.
maybe?
12. You figure 1 to 1.
Is
So
12.
it's
And
12.
then another 7 to 8
So it's
is
19 hours.
Holy
19
fuck.
hours, bro.
Holy shit.
Like a little part of me is jealous, dude. I remember this was like this was maybe like 2 months ago, dude. It was like after my dad got out of the hospital and like I could finally sleep. Like, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't worried about my mom 24/7. I remember like I went to bed one night. I didn't even jump in Discord. I think it was like 9:30. I fell asleep on the couch, maybe even at 8:30. And I woke up at like 3 a.m. And then I went to my room and I slept and I woke up at like 1 in the afternoon, dude. And I was like, what happened? But like at the same time, my body was like, yo, like it's time to just fucking catch up. And then I kind of after that, I kind of went back to my regular like 5-6 hours max. I really don't ever personally sleep that much. Like I've been going to bed at like 2 a.m., wake up at 8. Like that's kind of like my norm is not normal as that actually is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
dude.
technically not healthy, but
It just
if
tripped
it's
my
working-
But
fucking.
is it? It's 6 hours of sleep though. That seems healthy, no?
No, actually, I've been doing a lot of research on sleep because I'm, trying to hit the gym again and trying to get better sleep and all that. And they say it's 8 to 9 hours is really what you need for your body to properly do what it's supposed to during sleep. So 6 is like the very bare minimum. Basically, what happens is when you hit that deep REM sleep, that's when your brain actually clears all the bullshit from the day out of your stored memory and kind of processes it and puts it away so that your brain starts out clear and fresh in the morning. And with reduced amounts of that REM sleep, we don't get that effect as much as we should. And let's face it, it's
That makes
compound
sense.
interest. It's what leads so many of us to anxiety and just crazy stress because our brain isn't fully clearing that memory bank out every night when it's supposed to. So we're always leaving a little bit more in the tank every day when we get up.
Oh shit! I doubled up yesterday.
Yeah, dude, you just filled up that secondary tank, right? Now you're just gonna be like one night, you're gonna be like, oh,
I'll
got
tell
a lot
you
of
this,
sleep.
though,
You'll
man.
Flip it over, get that other tank, you're good to go.
For the few hours I was up yesterday, felt kind of off. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was
Because
weird,
you
dude.
missed the whole day, bro. That's probably why. Like that.
My
That even
brain,
happens to people if they normally wake up at 6 a.m. and they sleep until 10, right? Like
dude, my
that's
brain was tripping all day yesterday. I was just like, what the fuck? It's like
Oh,
it
for
didn't
sure.
make sense to me the entire. When I first woke up, I'm like, this doesn't make sense. How did this happen? There's no fucking way. Dude, it was wild.
It's crazy how the body will make you sleep and rest when you need it most. And so it's quite possible that that's exactly what you experienced.
Well, dude, I'll tell you what, I didn't get as much sleep this past week as I had because I had gone into work a couple days pretty early. Didn't come home and take my little, nap that I do sometimes, and could have been a plethora of things.
Yeah, I mean, on top of that, I'm pretty sure that those new blackout curtains did their job.
Oh,
because
dude,
they blacked out the light.
you can't tell what. That's partially probably the problem too, is how dark it was in here. I couldn't tell what time of day it was. Because, dude, literally, it gets dark in here, bro. Like if I were to turn the lights off, let's do an experiment. Turn this one off, and we'll turn these ones off, and you guys could just see it gets dark as shit in here.
Yeah,
The only reason you could see me is because of the screens that are on. But it gets dark, bro.
And like, dude, I can barely see anything.
Yeah, it reminds me of Uncle Chris at the old spot.
Let's do this.
I think I was a little bit brighter than that. I was a little brighter than that.
A little,
right.
yeah.
We'll throw a little color in the background. But it works now that I have these colored lights because it literally changes it to whatever color the lights are now. It doesn't get washed out from, you know what I mean?
No, it does look clean now. We just put some lights. We built a new bed frame. And by built, I mean I took home this like redonkulously oversized pallet and made a bed frame out of it. And it's great because now we like the bed doesn't get that sag anymore because it's fully supported all the way across. But it does stick out just a little bit further than the bed. So we took some they're called fairy lights. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those.
Yeah, they're like the real small LEDs, like
Yeah,
on
just
a wire that
yep,
they look.
just an
Yeah.
LED on a wire. Yeah, exactly. We strung a couple of those through the outer edge of the frame. And so now we've got a visual idea of where the edge is so that no one walks in the bedroom at, middle of the night and stubs their toe.
That's the worst. I hate stubbing toes, bro, and I do that
Oh my
shit quite
God.
often. So I
Especially
try.
in the middle of the night.
It's part of the reason why I don't really walk around without anything on my feet much anymore. Like when I'm just sitting here, I don't have anything on, but a lot of the time, not only that, but we've got a dog that's pretty old and can't necessarily hold it as well as he used to. You know what I mean? So every now and then you find a little puddle, and the worst thing is stepping in that while you're wearing a fresh pair of socks. Oh, I hate that, dude. It's the worst.
It is a horrible feeling.
That
I
is
will
a
say that
terrible
there's a
feeling.
worse feeling than that, though. The worst feeling than that is bare feet and poo, and you feel it
Yes.
squished between your toes.
Yeah, that's
way worse.
Yeah, that's
Way worse.
Luckily, that doesn't happen too often.
No, it happens to me sometimes. It used to happen to me sometimes, like at my old place, because I would go out and I would clean up poo like every 2 weeks, right? And so sometimes I would just be like walking around in my bare feet, and you'd catch one. You'd be like, "Oh, that's one I missed." Clearly, while you're gagging, you know what I mean? Because like I was pretty good at cleaning it up, but you can't catch them all. Like I probably should. I don't know. Okay, maybe people are going to judge me here, and that's fine. I'm okay with it. Maybe I'm lazy. Maybe I should have been cleaning up after every single time it happened. Maybe. But I lived on a fucking farm. I didn't think that was like really the deal. And I mean, I understand if you lived in an apartment complex or like a public boulevard. Yeah, I'm not gonna walk by that and just like be like, "Oh yeah, good job, dog," and then walk away. No, I'll clean that up instantly. But when it's like your own house and like there's like acres of land, like you don't think about it. And like I'm not gonna catch them all. Sometimes a dog would poop like 400 or 500 yards from the house, like in the grass that's manicured, but I would never go out there. Like, what am I worried about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So sometimes you miss them. Yeah, like I've caught them a few times with my bare feet, sadly.
Nope, never had that problem when we had a dog in my life, thankfully.
It's not the worst. It's just it's not good.
Yeah, like the family dog rider, he was weird. He didn't like to do that business in the grass. So
Okay.
it was almost like he kind of knew, like, I play and fuck around in this grass, so I don't want to catch one. So like he always purposely ran towards the outer edge of the yard to do that kind of business. Like he'd piss in the grass. That was no big deal. But when it came to dropping a mean one, he'd always keep it in the back outer edge of the yard.
Yeah, we had a dog like that growing up as a kid. He had like his designated poo spot. You know what I mean? It wouldn't necessarily be in like the same spot, but like be in
But
like
yeah,
the
like
same
a 10 or
general
15
area.
foot general area.
Yeah, like we
Yeah.
had like this little like patch of grass that had died over time, and that's just where he went. You know what I mean? And did his
Yep.
thing.
We just had some like old fallen brush that was in the
Yeah.
back section of that yard, and that was it. That was his spot. And the only problem is that like winter time, because obviously we're not clearing snow out there. Come springtime, you don't know what you got. You're taking your chances, because even the dog was like, "Fuck this! I ain't going all the way out." He'd just go as far as he
Yeah,
had
dude,
to.
Otto
you
was
know?
like really good with that stuff because like even at the farm, dude, he would like go underneath the bushes and stuff. Like he would totally go to spots that like no foot traffic would ever go. And dude, half the time he would like go on the other side of the fence, like in the field. He would just like tour it, and then you'd see him, and he'd come back, and he'd be just running like a bat out of hell, and you knew that he just like dropped one, and he was like full energy.
Yep, that's kind of how Ryder rolled. But I will say, I have done the barefoot into cat puke as a lifelong cat owner, and that's got to be just as awful. Um, and even worse is that my cat has pissed on my bed, and having a dark blue blanket on, it wasn't noticeable until you went to go lay down.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of cats, so I would like really be upset about that. Like that's the
Well,
weirdest part, right? Like I have a very, very like open double standard. Like I can, if Indy had a mess in like his crate at night, I'm not mad at him. I'm just like, oh man, that's tough. Like I wonder like how much fucking anxiety you had before that happened. Do you know what I mean? Because like even though Indy has his faults, like he's not really a dog that goes to the washroom inside. He's pretty good at asking. He's good at going outside, right? So if there's something up in his crate, you know that like shit was not good. And it also makes me wonder how I didn't wake up, right? Because like he would not have just like sat there quietly, then stood up and pooped. It'd be like crazy. Also, we don't really have to talk about poop that much.
Yeah.
I've probably already said poop more than I would
Yeah.
imagine. But yeah, ultimately, I think that this is how I'll kind of round out this topic. I think that all pets are awesome. I think that everybody probably has a pet that is good for them, and every pet has its fallbacks, for sure, no doubt. But ultimately, like I love fucking animals. So,
yeah,
whoa,
but you're
I
100%
love
right.
animals a lot, is what I should have said.
And yeah, and
Sorry, my bad, my bad.
every animal has its own special needs, right? Like you're experiencing it now between Indy and Otto in the sense that like it's the same breed, but they're two different dog
Way, yeah,
personalities.
really different. Yeah.
You know, I saw it at my father's house when Ryder finally died, and they got another Portuguese water dog. That dog was a completely different personality. And they even
Oh,
got
is
it
that
from the
what kind of
exact
dog it
same.
was? My
Yeah,
sister has one of those.
dude, that
He's all right, I guess.
the Ryder was cool after a little while. I moved in when he was still a puppy, maybe 1 years old, and about 1.5, 2, he really started to like test the hierarchy within the house to figure out where he stood. And so
Yeah.
like he would get a little out of line and you'd have to like yell at him. And I mean, I remember there was one time he was biting my pants and I went to go like rip my pant away and like he held on enough that he swung with it. Um, but
And
I'll
you
tell you,
obviously did it with some level of force. You're like, motherfucker, get off my goddamn
yeah. So I
pants.
mean, well, the thing is we
Yeah.
were outside, so he went off the porch.
Yeah,
And
because
it
they're
was
still
like
pretty
two, three
big. They're like
steps.
50-pound dogs, are they
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So like
It's a
that's the
sizable
thing.
dog.
Like after that, he was like, all right, I'm I'm not in charge here.
Yeah, it's
And he
like
was
Sean is my boy, but
and that
he's
was it. Like
obviously
from there
somewhat my
out, like
master.
he didn't fuck with me, he didn't fuck with anybody else in the house. And he just kind of understood where he was in the family. And he was such a cool dog after that. I mean, in the snow, because like my father is really big into sailing. So like the little rubber fenders that you use to like not scratch your boat on
Oh, the
docks and shit.
bumpers. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the bumpers. Uh, when they would fail over time, he would take them, they would become dog toys.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
we would just tie a piece of line to it and throw it out there for him. He'd run, chase it, grab it, bring it back. And
Dude, you know what? Now that you say that your dad was into sailing, right? And then you had Portuguese water dog, like that to me makes sense. Because like Portuguese water dogs are like literally like top swimmers, dude.
well,
They're
that's
like
that's why he
legit.
chose that
Yeah.
breed.
No, no, that's what I
Prior,
mean. It makes sense knowing the
yeah,
background information. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
prior to that, they had a chow. It belonged to his now wife, but his girlfriend at the time. And so they had the chow until the chow passed. And after the chow passed, they decided they were ready for another dog. They thought, well, you know, we really do love sailing a lot. And so we need a dog that's kind of built for that lifestyle.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And so the Portuguese water dog was perfect. And I
Yeah,
mean,
they're pretty hardy dogs.
they're cool, man. They swim like hell. They love to work, which was something interesting. Like we trained that dog to the point that like you could say go to work, and he'd pick up his line and with his fender and just drag it around.
Yeah, no, that's sweet.
You know, like he wanted to work. He's also really good at hurting little children.
Yeah, that
But
makes sense.
like when my uncle's child would be at the house, the dog was really good at just like hurting that baby. So
It's just like guarding it, probably ultimately, like making
Yeah.
sure everybody's like keeping his distance.
well, I mean,
I already
I mean
know
like
that like
literal
Indy would be
hurting, like
horrendous with
like
kids, like so
getting
bad.
in the way of the baby so it won't fall into like a table. Like
Yeah.
I was
It's
like,
like pure
damn.
protection mode.
Yeah, I was like, damn, all right, dog. You just kind of understood. So yeah, that was a cool breed of dog.
No, man, animals are like incredible, dude. I remember like Otto, could play like as tough as any dog. Do you know what I mean? Like he wasn't like a 130-pound dog that was like thought it was 5 pounds, but he was a 65-pound dog that just he could tug your goddamn arm off. Or if it was like my mom playing fetch with him, dude, he'd be like so dainty. If it was like a woman that was like playing tug of war, he would only tug a little bit and then he would just like stop, sit, and wait for them to throw it. Like he wouldn't tug. But if it was a dude, you'd hear him be going like fucking trying to pull. You'd see like the person's fucking arm almost coming out of socket, and then they'd be like fucking let go, and the dog would just be like, "You're my bitch," and then he'd go to like somebody else. But if it was a woman, right, like I said, and he was like really good with kids, but like Indy, dude, he's a fucking nightmare. He literally barks at everybody. He's like just too much. I
He's a
wouldn't
high
trust him.
strung one.
Yeah, which right now he's just chilling. He's just kicking it. But if somebody drives by here on a golf cart or like a car, lights out. Like he's fucking he's like all gas.
He's ready to fight.
Not even he's wagging his tail. He's so pumped. He's so excited.
Oh, that's how
But
ours
he
get
doesn't know
too.
how to he doesn't know how to control it, and he'll like jump up and like he'll like even just like kind of like nip, like not like bite, but like nip, and he just gets it's just too much.
Dude, my brother's dog's something else. Ruby, because she'll come up to you and she won't bite you, but she wants to hold your hand. You know what I mean? Like she'll just like grab it and just hold it in her mouth. She won't bite hard. She just wants to hold you. You know what I mean?
Huh.
It's so weird, dude. I don't like it. I was like, no,
it
don't
is a
do
bit
that.
weird, yeah.
It's just something she does.
I remember
like-
this friend of mine, Tasha. She had a dog, Trigger, and Trigger used to like to bite trees. So like they'd go out like on a hike with this dog, and this dog would pick a tree that's got like, you know, a good midsection, and he'd start jumping at branches trying to rip the tree down. Like this dog was nuts. It's funny because I saw a video recently on the reels, which I'm sure it's floating on TikTok and YouTube Shorts and everything else by this point. But it was a dog very much with that same mentality. They were out in the woods somewhere, and there was this like big dead tree, and this dog was jumping to try to grab this branch and rip this tree down. And when it did, that dog was happy as could be. And I was like, holy crap, that's just like Trigger. That dog was nuts.
Dude, that's like one of the things I'd want to see on TikTok or some. I honestly have never downloaded the app, so I've never really looked at it that much.
Samesies.
I've seen stuff that's been shared on other platforms from TikTok, but that's the kind of TikTok that I probably want to watch. Like
I will
for sure
say
about animals.
that's the beauty of like their algorithms for all this shit, right? Like Instagram reels. The vast majority of my reels are animals because most of the content I produce is based on the fish tank stuff. So
Oh yeah.
That and it's also based off of things that you spend time watching. Like if you scroll like past something and you actually watch the full video, then the algorithm realizes it and starts feeding you more shit like that.
yep. So like I've got like one of my favorite goddamn things with cool animals that I see on the internet is whenever I get birds that are cursing.
Yeah, it's actually pretty funny.
That shit
That's
makes
actually
me
pretty
laugh
funny.
every time. Um,
Yo, Sean, do you like post stuff on TikTok?
no, I have one, but I actually had it for work when I was doing the marketing for the dispensary, and we were
So you'd have to
investigating.
start from scratch. You should start from scratch and just put up, dude, with your
Well,
fucking
no,
camera work and thought and
I
fucking
have one
fish
that's mine
tanks.
personally that I've done
Yeah.
that. I've put a couple of my fish tank videos on there. Um, honestly, I don't know. It's hard to balance 100 social media platforms. I don't
No,
understand how
it's,
some people do it.
That's why I don't
that's all
really.
they do, I think.
I couldn't handle trying to fucking keep up anymore. That's why like I post fucking one post on Instagram on a Friday and then do my fucking green room on a Friday, and that's about it, dude. I don't really. It's too much. I don't have enough time anymore. Well, I do. I don't know.
You allocate it to other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like to share little updates on the fish tank stuff as it happens, keep people like, interested,
Yeah, but here's a
up to
question.
date.
Is there an app, Sean, that you could create an Instagram post? Sorry, the dog fucking barking. Somebody's probably gonna come by. Just let me mute up for a sec. I'm sorry. my
You're
bad.
good.
This is literally what we're talking about. Someone goes by the desk like, oh my god, people.
It happens, dude. Like sometimes if we got like the front door open and just like the privacy screen shut, and someone walks by and Maggie's sitting by the door, she'll start talking because she doesn't like bark like a normal dog. She like she talks, bro. You know what I mean? It's weird.
Yeah. Okay. So I can. Sorry, James. Oh, sorry. Finish up, and then
Oh, I was just gonna say there was a point in time where like I got her to like pretty much say I love you. You know what I mean? She like, didn't say the words,
Yeah.
but her bark mimicked exactly what I was saying. You know what I mean? She stopped doing it, but I'm
There's
like
a
one of
lot
the
of
only.
videos out there, people doing that with their dogs these days.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, Sean, can you not utilize an app that could post on Reels, post on TikTok, all these different things?
Oh, those apps exist. They also cost money, and I'm not worried about it enough to like invest in it like that at this
Yeah.
time,
No. Fair enough.
right? Like realistically, here's my thinking: if I were to suddenly become a, let's say, profitable person on Instagram, which again, not something I'm aiming for, not something I'm even trying, but if it were to one day happen, right? At that point, then I think it would be worth the investment to start to spread myself unilaterally across all those platforms in that fashion. But for just somebody who likes to share his fish tanks with some
be
people who want to
right back.
follow it, I'm like, Instagram's cool.
Yeah. But when you do Instagram, does it put it to Reels?
Well, Reels is Instagram. It's
Okay,
all
so that's like Threads is Instagram. Is it the same thing?
it's not on the same platform, no. Those are two separate apps.
Oh, because Threads is a separate app, but
Yeah, so
Instagram and Reels
basically
is
I
so.
uh,
Because you could do Reels within Instagram. Okay,
yeah,
yeah, I got you.
basically they integrated the Reels feature into Instagram so that you can create your video content and create a reel. So now you have the ability to do like we used to do back in the day and like do a little quick video and make it a video post, or you can make it a reel. And because of the way algorithms work, you're better off making it a reel because people will actually have a chance to see it.
Okay, because I think that more people will just watch Reels all day than scroll on Insta all day.
Well, the way the
At this
algorithm
point now.
works, they just push reels. They don't push regular posts anymore. So like even like rich, famous people, successful people, they will get like a third, a quarter of their engagement on a single picture post or a regular video post as they will if they make it a reel. And it's just because of the way that Instagram will suppress regular posts in favor of reels. So,
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense though.
I mean, that's the weird business of social media, right? Like, it's odd to even know these things, but when you start to like follow enough people who are in the business of social media, you're like, okay, so that's how you make your money. I get it.
But if you think about it, right? If you're an individual that is like willing to work 8 hours a day, which is most people, right? Like most people, if you're lucky, you work 8 hours a day. Um, dude, if you're like grinding out social media shit for 8 hours a day and you could actually make money, I still don't think that I don't think that I would do it, but I wouldn't be surprised either.
I think it'd be cool 100% if you could do that. Um, if you have a niche that you're into enough that you could be profitable. Like I've thought about it. Like if I were to go do YouTube now, it would be fish tank stuff, right? Well, at least that's a niche that's family friendly.
Yeah, like you could actually,
As long as I don't
make
curse,
money
yeah, I can actually be
or
monetized
smoke weed.
and do that, you know? As long as it's just fish tanks, I'm okay.
You can be
So,
shed timed when the fish tanks are going on, but
well, like,
you can't be doing that while the
se-
fish tanks are on.
in seriousness, right? My head goes after we had Mike from Hugh on the show, uh, and we were talking about how he does his ASMR videos and how wide the world of ASMR is. I was like, dude, you could just make ASMR fish tank videos. You don't even have to talk. You don't even have to be in them. You just film your tank and let the sound of trickling water play over it. Boom.
I mean, why not try it? It's for
I mean,
science, bro.
well,
Just
here's
for
the thing.
science. For
Full
science.
disclosure, and I may have talked about this previously in another episode. I do have a YouTube channel that I run strictly for the sake of trying to create a passive income stream out of it. My problem is that I got one video up and I haven't made any other content for it to continue to like build it. And I needed to hurry up and do that. But yeah, the idea is that through this revenue stream, uh, I'm just taking music that I make and putting a video clip over it and looping it and putting it out there for like meditation and sleep aid music and that sort of thing. Boom. But you have to build your audience first, and you can't build your audience if you don't create content. I haven't created
No,
content
I
for it.
get it. That's true. That's
And
very true.
that's the
very
issue, right? Is like James knows this full well. Like when it comes to trying to create like video content, edited video content, it can take someone 12 hours to do a 10-15 minute video if you're really like doing a ton of editing.
Facts.
So like that's a lot of time to
That's why I
commit.
don't do it much anymore.
It's it. Like it's a big commitment. It's a lot of work. And like you have to really love doing all that work. Like I fully appreciate how some of my favorite big YouTubers that I watch now, like they've got full paid crews doing editing for them. Like I watch Guga Foods a lot. That I've learned a lot of great cooking shit from that dude. And he's got a team of like 5 editors that come to his house. They shoot videos with him, and then they all sit down in his like dedicated living room space or whatever, and they all are constantly editing video. But that's how you get, fucking the platinum plaque. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how you get quality content quickly.
Well, and that's also how you're able to
consistently, right?
shoot more videos, because you can delegate, videos to different editors, or you can have one guy shooting it while the next guy's editing it. You know what I mean? To consistently keep things rolling. It's
Yeah.
different when you're like your one-man team, because it's like not only do you have to think of the content, then you got to shoot the content, edit the content, upload the content, promote the content, on top of making sure that you're on top of your next video in order to stay relevant and consistent. Yeah, I mean, it's not as easy as it looks. And the people that do it by themselves and continue to crank shit out, dude, kudos to them, man, because that shit's hard fucking work.
I
You know what I
mean,
mean? Especially if you're
100%.
doing
You
that
can
on
only
top of a
streamline
job.
something
You know what I
so far
mean?
too.
Like part of the reason why I've kind of stepped back from doing as much review content and stuff like that is because monetarily it wasn't making much sense for me at the time, because I was purchasing like 90% of what I was using, and then a lot of the stuff I would never use again, and it goes back in a box and just sits, or it would just, I was buying multiple things within a month, and running myself a little short. Not saying that I'd ever go too crazy, but there was that. And then in the amount of time it would take me to sit down, record a video to that point where I liked it enough to actually sit down and edit it on top of that, on top of working a 40+ hour a week job. You know what I mean? I'd be come home and edit from the time I got home pretty much to the time I went to bed. And then, you know what I mean? It was like working two jobs.
And that's the thing, like, social media as work is literally that. It becomes work if that's what you're trying to do. I'm not necessarily trying to do it. I think it's really cool.
No, I know.
I think it's really
just, like,
cool when it
posting cool
happens.
videos that like you would do with like the fish, right? Like you're just mentioning, dude. Even if you do one a month, like one a month isn't that much of an asset. It's like 30 minutes a day. You could like work towards getting this done by the end of the month, and then you just post it up, let
I,
people enjoy it.
I think the cool thing is, like, if people are doing that organically, like you're describing, right? Like, if someone's just out there posting what they want to because they want to do it, and if people like it, they like it, and if nobody sees it, nobody sees it.
But you
Um,
enjoy doing it, and like that's the whole point. That's why if you don't make it all big and you're not, because even if it took you 45 days to put out a video, as long as you're constantly working on a video, that would be probably just a hobby, like purely.
oh,
You're
100% it
just
would be.
sharing your experiences in like the world, whatever it happens to be. People
I
can see the
just
evolution of your tanks just by different timed videos, all these different things.
I get it, man. I get it. And that's kind of what I do with the Instagram. Um, but in the long run, right now, it's just kind of you know, that's my hobby. I take my time and do my thing elsewhere with other stuff, and we just let it
You got
be,
other hustles.
you know? Um, oh yeah. I've actually been working on a great project I'm excited about, with a concentrate maker who is here in the state, and he's looking to do a whole rebrand before he launches in the next like year. So I've been doing some work with him, starting to work out some cool logo designs and package design ideas for him. So we'll see where that goes. That could be a lot of fun. But it's fun, man. Like, it's nice to do those kind of things as a freelancer, right? Like, with all the experience I had from being in the dispensary, to now take it freelance and just be like, oh yeah, like, we can do that. And I can 100% assure you that you're 100% compliant with these designs.
No, dude, that's perfect though, honestly. And that allows you to still somewhat stay connected to that industry, but like at a casual hobbyist capacity.
If I'm honest, the thing that's really cool is that he's in a local band, and they also want like music video stuff and things like that. And I love making a good music video. I can't
Dude,
lie.
definitely you do. From your
Um,
stories, like how could you not have had a bunch of fun doing that shit? It must have been
dude,
pretty thrilling overall.
I've worked on a bunch of them and done a lot of different roles in film media as a result of my experience with these guys that I've had the pleasure to work with, Sick Pup Entertainment. Um, it's crazy. Like, I've played a police officer in a music video. Like, um, so like there's that. Um, I've actually done the whole boom mic operator thing in a movie. I've done the camera operator in a movie. Um, yeah, so many weird things. Never mind all the music videos that I shot with the guys I worked with, and the weird situations those guys would get us into.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
we've heard a few of them. So I believe you when you say some weird situations.
Yeah. Have I ever told you the story of Craigslist casting?
I don't know.
Maybe. I can't remember if you have or not.
So we were working on this music video for a friend of ours, Wayne DePayne. And my buddy 50 was directing. 50 decides 50 decides that he's going to put an ad out in Craigslist casting to get people to act for roles in this music video. And first, let me describe what 50 looks like. This is a dude who in his early 30s is balding, but has a ton of like really frizzled, shaggy hair. Like he hasn't cut it or anything. One random dread in the back. He's wearing pajama pants with like shorts over them.
Nice.
An ICP shirt or something of that nature. Huge red plastic frame glasses. He's walking around with a limp because his knee is fucked up at the moment. So he's using a cane, walking with a limp. So we go out to the city to Boston to go meet our first person. It's an actress who is going to be playing one of the victims in the music video. And here's 50 looking as I described him, me, and I can't remember. I think there was one other person with us also looking very suspicious. Walking around up to random women who look the description of the actress that we were looking for and asking, are you, and I'm not going to use the real woman's name, but are you, Jane, Jane Doe, right? And so we're literally for half an hour, he's walking up to any woman. Are you Jane? Are you Jane? So finally, we're convinced at this point this woman has in fact met us now. And I was like, these people are fucking scary and psycho. This isn't a real casting call. I'm telling them, no, this isn't me. So, all right, moving on. We'll have to find somebody else to play that role. We get to our next person who's going to be in this video. And it's a gentleman who has answered our ad to be one of our victims. And once he gets there, he proceeds to tell us that he is a little bit developmentally challenged and that he has had some negative experiences, traumatic experiences in the past with sheer extreme violence, and that he wanted to play this role so that he could help deal with the experience he had. So this
Whoa.
Yeah, thanks, but no thanks.
This
Dude,
is a
that's
gentleman
heavy.
whose
Did
role
he get casted? Did he get casted?
we didn't have a fucking choice, Chris. This is a fucking poor man's operation. They paid this guy like I think 30, 50 bucks. I don't know. I don't know what they paid this man. But he was our victim. We didn't have a goddamn choice in this matter, bro. He was there. We had to use it. This scene required this guy to be hacked with a machete, rolled up in a fucking carpet, and have his body like mutilated. And like we were using simulate blood and simulate gore to make all of this happen in a real fucking machete.
Bad idea.
And this dude's screams and look of fear in his face are 100% real. Yeah.
What was like the parting handshake like?
Dude, he was entirely grateful to be paid and he had a great time. I was like, what?
That's not what I was expecting to
dude,
hear.
that's
not what I was expecting to hear.
I was I was blown away, and like we walked away from that experience. Like I can't believe that's who you got. Um, yeah. Thankfully the woman was recast by one of our friends' girlfriends, and she happens to be a woman who just randomly gets kidnapped and then thrown in a walk-in freezer and held captive until she's murdered in a walk-in freezer. Yeah, we shot some crazy videos.
Wow.
Straight up
Dude,
horror.
I just love I love the Craigslist ad. Like I love that.
So the premise of the actual
Oh.
video, like the story in the video, is that it's a man who's like a door-to-door salesman, and everywhere he goes, he's just been shit on and fucked with, and so finally he snaps and he just goes on a killing spree. So
And
that's
is that what the song's about?
uh no, but it is a
Okay.
violent song. It's it's
Okay.
it's from that style of dark horror rap, so it's still going to be a violent song. Um, but yeah, that was a crazy one. I remember we did one for this dude, the Wild, who did a video called "The Wild Where the Wild Things Are." That's what it was, and we brought this like giant wooden throne out into the middle of the woods, and then set a bonfire. And this dude sat out there with like this wolf hat on, as we like had a fully choreographed fight around the bonfire. And he's just
Damn.
sitting watching it, like these guys are fighting to be part of his gang or something.
That's actually pretty cool.
Like I said, I give these guys credit. We came up with some crazy shit. There was another one we did where we went out into the middle of these guys' backyard, which is like all set around woods, and they dug a pit in the snow and then lit fires down there, and then just basically spent the whole video wrapping around these campfires they lit around the snow. So all you had was the fire lighting the woods behind them while they rap in the snow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we did some crazy shit. These kids even gave me a song with 15 rappers on it to shoot a video for.
15 rappers? What the fuck?
Was
Yeah.
it like a cipher?
Yeah, no hook, just verse after verse
Yeah,
after
yeah.
verse after verse. 15 dudes, and we shot this video.
Like on some Wu-Tang shit.
Yep. And we just had to shoot this video where like we were in this like fucking big ass warehouse, and we just had to walk around from spot to spot and film every rapper doing different
Dude, you know
shit.
how, you know what I would have done in a
Wow.
situation like that, having that many people, like I would, like, especially like in a warehouse like that, I would have done just like fucking quick snaps with the camera and just edit it to where it's like every time it snaps back, it's just the next person, like a different spot in the warehouse. So it's just like the cameras turn into like each person, all of a sudden it's different. That would be sick.
It would be sick. We had some weird ones in there, man. Because
You know what I'm talking about, though,
I
right?
do. I
like
do.
that-
Yeah.
Like
So
where the
it's-
you get the quick camera shake almost, and then it just
it feels
focuses
like
in. And-
the camera
Yeah,
keeps spinning
just-
around.
That'd be sick.
This was like, these guys came up with some crazy shit though, because like one kid, Joey, at one point he wanted to do his verse. He found a ladder to the roof, so he climbed the ladder and hung off the ladder and just spit his verse hanging off the ladder. And then like we moved to another spot, he spit his verse somewhere else. Like we found a old freight elevator, so we shot some pieces where like dude was rapping in the freight elevator and then walking out of the freight elevator. One of my favorite moments was my rap partner Wise was on this track, and he gets the ball tap of a lifetime.
Oh no.
It's one of the greatest bloopers ever. Fucking this kid finishes up his verse, and then this dude Ricky comes walking in to start his verse, and right as he comes in, he's like, all my life I've been regarded as the worst, and he swings his arm down so perfectly and just catches my man You hear it on tape, and my buddy just screams and drops to his knees from this ball tap. And literally the rest of the crew just we all died. Fucking that shit was hysterical. Man, those days were wild. So it'll be fun if I get to relive some of that with a whole new generation of artists, you know?
No, dude, that would be fun.
These kids these days, man. They're not like the old days, man. They gotta like keep pushing it, you know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy.
Dude, you're like literally sounding like an old man right now. Congratulations, you've
I
made
know.
it.
I did it. I did it. Ah. I feel some days I feel like Grandpa Simpson, where it's like I used to be with it, and then they changed what it was. Now what
Yeah,
I'm with
dude.
isn't it, and what's it seems weird and scary to me.
Oh, dude, 100%.
Dude, that's perfect.
There's
Grandpa
not
Simpson.
anything in life that has been said that is truer than that.
And then he finishes it with, and it'll happen to you.
Facts.
And it did.
And it
Dude, I
does.
don't even. I'm at the point now where I don't even know what is like what it is or where it's supposed to be, and I really don't give a shit either. You know,
Dude,
I'm
it's
kind of at that point.
it's weird, man.
I'm slightly coming into the curmudgeon that I know I will be, you know, in my elderly years. You know what I mean? It's starting to happen slowly but surely.
Oh, I've already yelled at kids to get off my lawn.
Oh well, dude, it's just like because
Sean.
you guys obviously I've talked about it before, but like I play a lot of Call of Duty and like, dude, just like playing with like these little kids, like I literally have to turn the game like chat off because I can't
Oh, for
fucking
sure.
stand listening to these fucking kids, dude. I'm like, what was I saying some of the shit these kids are saying when I was a kid?
No, because we didn't have the internet
I did.
connectivity like that.
I did, bro. Like when I was like in like junior high, like like high school, I was playing it like Halo online and Call of Duty
Oh,
online in the
yeah.
early
Yeah,
days.
but like, dude,
You know
that's
what I
like
mean?
that's like 13, 14, 15-year-old kids. Like,
Yeah. Oh, but
I'm
still,
talking
yeah.
about like kids that are like 7 or 8 that go online and you'll hear them talking. You're like, dude,
Yeah.
what kind of parents are these? Just like
Yeah.
let a 7-year-old kid go online and
Well,
just
that and then I
talk
like
in
I
voice?
see
It's
like
so
all
weird.
these stupid prank videos and stuff that these kids are doing, and some of the shit that they're it's a prank, and like, no, dude, going up to somebody and saying you're gonna knock them the fuck out or whatever, and not expecting them to give you a fucking violent reaction. You're fucking asking for this shit, and then you get pissed off and they fucking get punched out or whatever, and then it's that shit just doesn't make any fucking sense to me. And I mean, if you're gonna want to like go around and do some stupid shit, like do some jackass shit, if anything. You know what I mean? Like those guys are just hurting themselves. You know what I mean? They're not going around fucking
Yeah,
around
fuck
trying to
up your
hurt other
friends and
people.
yourself.
Yeah, don't involve innocent people just going about their day, bro. Fuck off, dude. You know what I mean? That shit honestly gets on my nerves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've seen those videos.
Like if it's something that's all in good fun and there's nothing that is like harm or anything like that, like the ones that I love, bro, are the people that like go around and bless people with just random shit. You know what I mean? Have you guys seen like those trends where people just like go up to like even just people on the street, just like that are down and out? You know what I mean? Like, hey man, what's going on? And like kind of ask them about what's up, and then all of a sudden just like bless them with like $1,000 or some shit.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah. I
that
actually
shit's
saw one the other
wonderful.
day, and it was like this
Dude,
dude that
those
was like
things
going
honestly
up.
fucking warm me up so much, bro. Like I honestly a few times kind of get a little fucking teary-eyed watching some of them, dude. Cause like just seeing the reaction of some of the people that are just down and out for just bad shit, you know, and just a bad run of fucking circumstances, you know what I mean? And then like seeing them sometimes come back and see those same people and they're turned around and they all of a sudden they're not on the street anymore. They've got a fucking job or whatever, this and that. And just that one little act of kindness really turned this person's life around. It's like, dude, that's the kind of shit I want to see. You know what I mean? Don't go around fucking with people. Go around fucking blessing people or just fucking turning someone's day around with just random act of kindness. Not saying you have to give them anything, but just, you know, just kind words, you know what I mean? Just say like, hey, bless you, man. You know, everyone's here for a reason. You know what I mean? That's even that little fucking thing could just really turn someone's life around. Because there's this one dude I see, that just goes around and like hands people a note with just like a saying on it. That's like just, you know, something that's just like real, like deep and just like heartfelt, like saying, you know, you matter to somebody or something like that, or just like these random quotes. And just like some of them, dude, like they keep that note, and he comes back and he's like, man, just this one little note you gave me helped me turn my fucking perspective around or whatever. And it's like, dude, that shit's fucking sick. I love that. That's the kind of shit I like to see.
You know, the cool thing is like shit like that. You could do that, and it doesn't even cost you anything. Like,
No.
I remember once I used to have to walk to work all the time. And one day I just took like an old piece of cardboard, and I don't even remember what it was, but I think it was just something like, you know, like don't worry, be happy, or something stupid like that. I just wore it, run the neck, you know, carried it around. And the amount of people who like honked and waved and just, you know, had a big smile because of whatever dumb, you know, happy fucking uplifting thing I wrote on that was cool.
Or it's like those dudes that drive around and fucking stop, like have people roll their windows down at fucking stoplights, and they just like it seems like they're gonna say some fucking shit, but they just compliment the fuck out of them. And it's like where it's like it'd be like a big old buff dude, you know, at the stoplight, and this guy will roll the window down and be like, "Hey man, can you do us all a favor and save some ladies for the rest of us?" And then the dude starts fucking dying, you know what I mean? Or like he'll pull up to some lady and be like, "Hey, I just want to let you know you're fucking beautiful." All right. And then she gets a big old smile on her face or some shit. You know what I mean? Or just like the dudes that drive down the street with the megaphone. Like, "Hey, man, you're fucking killing in that shirt. That shirt's fucking dope. You know what I mean? Do your damn thing," or whatever. Just like that type of shit. I love that, dude. Like random compliments to people. Like, "Hey, man, those shoes, you fucking killing it in them shoes, bro. You do the
Dude,
damn thing." You know what I mean? Or like
yes.
you just like random shit like that. You know, someone who's just not expecting it. And then, you know, that guy's walking around the rest of the day like, "Yeah, you know what? I am killing it in these damn shoes, bro." You know what I mean? Like that shit. I love that.
My
Hell
boy
yeah.
Rain was one of those people. I love that guy for that. Like there was a time we were doing a show, and like we were walking our way back to the venue from the car, and just at random he'd walk by people, he'd be like, "Yo, purple's the right color for you, my man. Keep rocking
Yeah.
that. I like that guy's Michael Jackson Beat It jacket. That's just fire."
Hey, yo, that hat right there, that hat fly, bro.
You know, like the whole time, like we would cross the
Keep
street,
rocking that
he'd see
shit.
someone's car, he'd be like, "I dig your logo, I dig your logo," like, and it was infectious, right? Like everybody just wanted to smile and be happy when he would do shit like that. And how could you not smile
It's
and be happy?
infectious, bro.
You know,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh man, it's a beautiful thing. You know, you got to spread positive vibes wherever, and I love it when people are doing that. I mean, I gotta say, on the whole social media as work thing, that's something I will give Mr. Beast credit for. That dude has given a ton away to people, and that shit's cool as hell.
No, it is pretty cool. I think that like there's like a massive team that like helps them do that. Not to take away from what they're doing, obviously. It's just
Well,
like
again,
it's
it's
definitely
a
like
business.
them there. Yeah, because like there's like a full blown team. Like all the
Mr.
people you see in
Beast
the
is
videos
a
and stuff. Yeah.
brand, you
Yes,
know?
exactly. He just might be like the CEO or whatever.
Yeah, he might be the face of it. The kid, I think his name is Jimmy, right? But like he might be the face of it. But yeah, at the end of the day, like, yeah, Mr. Beast is a brand. And I will say, I will give the kid some credit. I did just read an article in the news recently that he's actually suing to end the Mr. Beast burger brand because he's upset that the adherence to quality standards has not been maintained across the entire series of ghost kitchens, and he feels that that is disrespectful to the patrons, and he wants to shut the brand down. So that's pretty goddamn cool, man. Like, I can appreciate somebody who wants to protect the integrity of their brand for something like that. We need more of that shit.
I think we just need like more good people.
Well, they're out there, bro.
Period.
I
That
like
kind of stuff,
I like
you know
to
what I mean?
believe that there's more good people than bad people out there. You know what I mean? That's what I like to believe, and I just kind of try to keep that. You know,
I mean, there's
it's my
really no
it's
reason
my
why
hopes,
not.
man. You know.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you got to remain optimistic. Otherwise, it's
Yeah.
all doom and gloom, and that's not the way any of us want to
Because
live,
I'll tell
right?
you what, man, I definitely feel like I've had more good encounters with people than bad. You know, if I really, narrow them all down. You know what I mean? There's just the thing is that I think most people don't realize too is that the bad ones stick out a little bit more. You know what I mean? So you tend to remember those ones more than the good ones sometimes.
You know, I think another thing too is that, and this, I'm going to get a little deep and metaphysical maybe for a minute, but I feel like the universe always gives you what you think about the most, right? And so I feel like for those who, and I've done this myself as a person when I'm down, right? Like when I'm thinking negative, all I see is the negative. So when I'm in those headspaces, all I see is how many awful people are in this world. But when I do change my perspective and I am in my positive mind state, I can see the good in the world. And I do realize how
Yeah,
much good
I
is out
agree.
there.
It's very dependent on what you're focused on at the moment for sure. I feel that a lot, Sean.
You
Because like
know?
I've definitely lately have been trying my best to stay in a positive mind state. So like whatever I try to consume positive things. You know what I mean? Because like when you're just consuming a bunch of negative things and you're in that state of mind, you're just feeding into it, and that's all you're going to be bringing to yourself. You know what I mean? It's like kind of like you can call it karma. You know what I mean? It's like whatever you feed into is what you're going to get. You know what I mean? So if you not only feed into it, but try to put out as much positivity as you can, then you're going to get that in return. You know what I'm saying?
It's I think it is a cosmic
It's a
law.
vibe thing, you know.
Like I
We
really
always
do.
talk about the vibrations. It's a thing, you know what I mean? Positive and negative vibrations are 100% a thing.
I 100% am a believer in it. I mean, truth be told, it's fringe science, but at the end of the day, we do know that everything is vibrating particles, and so if you are putting out positive vibrations, you're going to attract more positive vibrations. And if you're going to put out negative vibrations, you're going to get more negative vibrations. Uh, it's believed in many cultures that the universe sees what you most are focused on and sees that as what you desire to have. And so it gives you what you're focusing on. So when you're focusing on that terrible shit that's going on, it's like, well, here, let's just keep feeding you that.
Yeah.
And the algorithms are the same way. So, like, again, back to the whole social media thing, is I am able to keep making this point. Like, you got to feed your algorithm with only positive content in order to have it feed you more positive content.
Yeah.
If you are somebody who, on your Facebook is always reading into what's wrong in the world, it's going to keep giving you more of what's wrong in the world. But I'll tell you what, I promise you, if you spend a month forcing it to only see cute cat videos, it's going to feed you a lot of cute cat videos.
Well, dude, just from watching like one or two of those guys that go out and bless people and stuff, I've started stumbling across all kinds of dudes that are going around doing this in different ways. You know what I mean? And it's like some of them come from, being on the street and that sort of thing. So they know what it's like. And now that they've had a chance to, either through social media or whatever, be able to, go out and bless these other people, dude. Like it's just cool, man. I love to see that shit. And that's what I just try to continue to get through my feed instead of all the random bullshit that, I'm trying not to scroll as much anymore either, really.
Yeah, you can get lost in those all the time, man. Like you can be on some good streak of like positive content, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden there'll be like some random thing where like somebody legit gets murdered. You're like, what the fuck is even happening?
Yeah.
Like,
And it's like even
why is this on there?
the like content that I do watch, like I've been watching a lot of like streamers and stuff lately, and like the dudes that I do watch, like their whole thing is just like positive vibes. You know what I mean? Like even when they're like playing and shit, it's like whenever they start getting like those dudes that start raging out, they're like, "All right, man. Well, I hope you have a good one." You know what I mean? Like they're just like, "Damn, dude, these guys having a bad day." You know what I mean? They're not in there raging out and like, dude, that's the one thing that I can't stand about fucking gaming nowadays too. People just like rage so hard. I know I do it sometimes too, but I don't go like as crazy as some people, man. It's insane.
Dude, I remember I actually had like a buddy that like speaking of like
I
playing
think we've
online
talked
back
about
in
this
the day.
before.
Yeah, dude. He was like next level. Like every time, dude. And he like to the point where 90% of my friends wouldn't even play with him. Because they're just like, bro, like your buddy is so toxic. I just
Yeah.
the minute he's in here, I play worse. It's like I'm concentrating on all the shit that he's saying, and I'm literally getting taken off my game by like your buddy. I'll be
Yeah.
like, dude, just get past it. Like got to the point, like I said, man, nobody want to play with him.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's people of all ages because that dude was like in his mid-20s doing that. So.
Yeah. For me, it's not so much that I'm raging about like the other players. It's just like that. I always rage about like the game. I'm like, dude, what's going on with this game? This doesn't make sense. Like, how's he getting me, but I
I know
can't
he
get
would do
him?
that too.
Like,
He would be like,
but
"Fuck this stupid game." It's like this game's fucking trash.
I was getting like that yesterday, but I think it's just because I was mainly frustrated the whole day, or not even the whole day. It was a few hours of the day I was awake.
Tell you what, when I'm frustrated like that, that's where the old school like just first person shooters, you go into like something stupid like Doom,
Well, that's
put
when I
on
do.
God mode and just destroy
Well,
everything.
no, that's when I just do a switch up. I'm like, all right, well, instead of just trying to like fucking rush or whatever, I'll just like switch things up and like work on a different thing or just fuck around. I've been having a lot of fun running around with like a knife and shit lately. Like last night, I had this challenge, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna run around with the fucking rocket launcher for a fucking few rounds. And dude, I was having so much fun just fucking blowing people up. And I guarantee if I had my game chat on, people were raging.
Oh, like
Just
because
like
you're doing super good.
because I was just popping around corners, bro, and just thunk, just shit launching around. Because I was playing Shipment, and it's like a super small map, and I had to get 10 kills, bro. So I had to knock it out one round.
10
And then of
kills
course,
with a
once I got
rocket.
the 10, I didn't stop. I just kept going.
Well, yeah, because now it's a game and you've got a good technique.
Oh yeah, and it's fun, bro. It's so much fun. But I
Uh,
know if I was on the opposite end, the receiving end of like the launcher rounds, I would have been, all right, dude. All right, man. We get it. It's just one of those things, you know?
Yeah, man. But it's like people just take things like competitively, and like people get upset.
I
And,
think
like,
that's
things
part of
don't
my
go their
problem
way.
is I do get pretty competitive, or I am pretty competitive at least. So like if I'm doing bad in a game, like I get like super fucking frustrated sometimes. But I've been trying to just tell myself, you know what, dude, it's just a game. It is what it is, whatever, you know?
yeah, man. I think I heard a nice quote recently that I think kind of might help us all, especially in situations like that, where the gentleman said, sometimes we have to remember that the things we might attribute to being malicious are really just ignorance. A lot of people are just completely unaware.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
Like
for
that.
sure.
That's probably the most sensible thing possible. It's like there's a lot of people out there that like might come across as like really bad people, but like ultimately they're just like so ignorant that they don't know. And like if they actually knew, they might be really upset with like their own actions. You know, there's a reasonable amount of people out there that are like that. There are people that are just assholes, but like
Yep.
there's a lot of people out there that just they wouldn't even know. And then if they knew that they were hurting people's feelings, or they knew that there was certain like things happening because of like words they were saying or actions they were like, doing, that they probably would not be doing them. You know what I mean? Like they would switch it up.
It's so true. But with that, folks, we are coming down to the end of the line. Gina is giving us that signal, and we do appreciate you, Gina, for all that you do. So with
Legend.
that, we are going to bring it to a close and start it off with Uncle Chris.
Well, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Of course, I'm just gonna do like the regular show. Like, go check out shedtimepodcast.com. Check out our Patreon. Check out Frame Checking Favorite YouTube channel Friday nights, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's when you can catch the green room, where the three of us are just kicking it. And you know what? Honestly, I think that's like basically it. So yeah, do those things. Much appreciated. And yeah, everybody, have a good week. Take care of yourself. Live your best life. James, take it away.
As always, shout outs to all the Shedheads for all of your continuous support. Make sure you guys go leave those 5-star reviews on all those podcasting platforms. Helps us pop up in that algorithm that we're talking about so much. You know what I mean? So share that out if you can as well. Let people know where they can find it. Of course, you guys can find it at shedtimepodcast.com. It's got links for all the stuff, Patreon, as well as my YouTube channel. So if you want to check out the green room, like Chris said, on Fridays, you can come check us out there, get a little double dose. Other than that, we'll be here in the shed doing a thing as we always do. So I'm going to end it as I always do, sending out positive vibes, crisp high fives, and don't forget to tell someone you love them, and a little bag or dab will do ya.
Absolutely. And so it's all been said before, so I don't need to say any more, except don't let the bastards get you down. Be cool, don't be a dick, and whatever it is that you do, be sure to have some fun, because it's the Shed Time Podcast, and it's time to roll on up and roll on out.
Dynavap, Dynavap, Dynavap. Looking to cut the cord on your dry herb vape? Dynavap. Trying to get the best taste from your herb? Dynavap. Ready to take your sesh to the next level? Then meet Dynavap, the best way to vape your flower or concentrate. Concentrates? That's right, your flower or hash can be vaped using Dynavap. Check out dynavap.com to learn more. That's dynavap.com. Lose the ash? Dynavap.
What's going on, Shedheads? It's your boy Frames Janklin. Are you looking to step up your match game or have a raw copper, brass, or stainless mod or RDA that you're absolutely tired of polishing? Then you need to go and hit up my man Ashton at Palmer's Powders. He does some absolutely amazing powder coating work. He offers many different colors and finishes at an absolutely killer price. This man is taking powder coating to a whole new level, and he can make your setup an absolute masterpiece. You can go follow him over on Instagram at Palmer's Powders, and you can go check out pricing on his website, palmerspowders.com. That's palmerspowders.com. And as always, let's just vape on, Shedheads.
I want you to think of your favorite rebuildable right now. Yeah, okay, so you have a layer cake in your hand, and now you're about... Oh, sorry, yeah, that's not everyone's favorite. That's just mine. So think of your favorite rebuildable atomizer. Think about how good of a vape it produces for you. Now, take that and amplify it. And the way that you amplify that is you put in some Breezestone coils. Breezestone coils are handcrafted in Adelaide, Australia. They're made from some of the finest quality wire that you can get. I believe it's wire Buddha. You take those coils, you take them out of that phenomenal packaging that clearly shows how much care that Adam puts on the quality of his coils and the insurance that you get them in good shape. You put them in that favorite RDA, and guess what? You have coils that now sing better than Celine Dion. Go check out Breezestone coils. You can find them on localvape.com and also steelvalleyvapors.com. Solid.
You dig?
Peace.